I just got a new MIG welder. Figured first job I would do is build a table for the MIG welder. You should all know before this that I can barely weld, so this should be interesting. Started with some cheap scrap steel that I got from the scrapyard. I'm going to cut that up and see how it goes. And a couple of ideas here how I want it, where I want it to go, just so it looks and is usable. A bit like a sort of trolley idea with handles on the front, wheels on the back. I've managed to get some cool wheelchair wheels from the scrapyard too. I think all this cost me about $6, something like that. I've got a third one of these triangles and a few other bits and pieces. Okay, so I've cut all my steels to size. Obviously pick your size, work out how long you want your legs and so on and so forth, and just start cutting them up. I was quite lucky because they came like this, so they are, I've got one weld done. That gives me my back corner. Not that that's going to change much, but one less weld to do. Just chop all these up, so I've got 4 pieces for the width. They're 450. Don't need it that wide really, because it's only a little skinny welder, you can see. And then 4 of these, which are front to back. So that's 600, I believe. There's actually 3 there as well on the table. And then the front legs. So I've already started welding these up. As you can see, I'm no welder. It's not a pretty weld, but it's going to hold. I'll be spending more time with a grinder than I will with a welder, I reckon, cleaning them up. But this is kind of the point of doing this, just to kind of learn a bit more about welding. So hopefully by the end of it, the welds will look better. I've created one frame, so one side frame, and then what I'm going to do is basically, I want them to be exactly the same, so I'm going to mimic that. So first thing I'll do is overlay one over the top of the other. Another one of these legs for this leg on, so these will all line up, matching the other one, so we're going to have exactly the same shape. Make sure they're the same. Now, probably I was thinking the easiest thing to do so that they are exactly the same is to just stick some clamps on them, so then you know they're the same, sort of exactly the same height. That way, same again here, so they line up. Now we can see this doesn't quite line up, so if I get another clamp, there we go, and clamp the top of this one, it'll pull that top one across. So yeah, now they will line up. Neat, so you can see ever so slightly different lengths, but what we'll do is we'll weld the new ones in and chop them down. So we need one of these babies, and that's going to fit in there. That's going to pretty much mimic that. And put some clamps on there, make that exactly the same, and then we'll have 2 frames that are exactly the same, and we're a good place to start. And then we'll end up with basically just putting these spaces in, and then some wheels. Pretty much got a trolley. So in my defence, I did have a mate of mine who is a very good welder try this welder out yesterday. That is cheap Chinese rubbish. I would do a review on it, but it isn't worth it, because unfortunately I'm building a stand for this thing, but I can't seem to be keeping it long because it's junk. But even he wasn't able to get it to weld very well. You can see the amount of time we spent yesterday just trying to set the damn thing up. It just, no matter what you do, you get the amperage right, and you get one clean straight line, and then next thing it won't even stick, won't do anything, and then fights with it and heats, just spits wire all over the place. Mess with the amperage again, get it right, and there's no consistency. But you can see that I'm starting to get somewhere with my welds. That's definitely not brilliant, but it's not the worst weld in the world, and they're getting better. Right, so now I've got 2 of these, matching obviously, left and the right side, so you can start to see what the trolley's going to look like. There's the front, back, bottom, that's where the wheels are going to go in. Weld to the bottom, or even slide in the bottom. We'll see how that works. So now obviously we're going to start doing this whole thing together, starting with the top, on the bottom, and same front and back here as well. Okay, so frames all together. I've just tacked this top on. I just had a piece of steel about the right size, just whipped a little bit off of it, cut a corner out of the hole, so we just put any, if I ever want to put any hoses or anything through it, just a few little tacks on it, as you can see. So yesterday we got to this point. I was just starting to sand it down. I was going to put some paint on it, so as you can see, the top's welded on. I knocked up a quick sort of bracket here for my gas bottle to sit in. Thinking I'll just drop in there, and then sort of made this sort of clip up so that it just sort of, it's solid in there, won't want to go anywhere. But got very sick and tired of my welder. I was getting to the point where I was getting some pretty reasonable welds, and then would just go back to splattering all over the place and having to spend more time grinding it down and fighting with it. And it turned out, speaking to a few people, that these sort of cheap Chinese welders, you're just lucky if you get a good one. This is a very unknown brand. I can't find anything from manufacturers or anything to help me out. Need some more light on that. It appears the voltage regulator is buggered or something, because it's just constantly varying up and down all on its own. And you're just chasing it. So you could literally do one weld and then it changes, and one weld and it changes. So I just got a little sick and tired of it, bit the bullet, went out and bought a new welder. Not a new welder, but a much better second-hand welder. It's a bit of a serious daddy, this thing, and as you can see, it has wheels. It doesn't require a trolley. So I've just built this welding trolley kind of for nothing, but it isn't entirely for nothing. My next job is I will be building a forge, a blacksmithing forge, a gas type blacksmithing forge. I figure what better to have it on than a trolley, so I can move it around inside and out, not have to leave it out all the time. I happen to have a trolley that I've just completed, though the gas bottle configuration isn't going to be any good because I'll be using a 9 kilo gas bottle for the gas, for the burner. So I'm going to change this, but from now on it will be the same thing, but it's going to be for a forge instead of a welder. So we're almost at painting stage, but we're going to go back to fabrication now using the new welder. Right, I've removed that piece now, give it a little bit of a clean up, and a nice retaining ring thing. I'm going to start by welding a little bit across here just to sit the new gas bottle on, and then I'll work out where to go from there. So I've knocked up a new frame. I just wanted these little bits in there to hold the cylinder in place. Just going to make something for this upright just to sort of support it in case the trolley sort of tries to topple over or something, but just to stop it moving around too much. But yeah, we're almost there. Look, a couple more welds and ready for some paint. So a couple of last finishing touches, just welded, obviously finished welding that up, welded a little retaining sort of clip on there for the top of the bottle, just not that it was ever going to go anywhere, but just in case. And then I remembered that I found this at the scrapyard actually, just a bit of steel and a bit of a hoop, perfect size. I thought I'd weld that on, good for hammers or torches or something to sit in. But oddly enough, I'm welding along and going with the new welder thinking, why is the weld getting so bad? And hadn't turned the gas on, so still sticks even though I didn't have the gas on, which is a bit crazy, but otherwise all the welds are getting pretty good really. So ain't going anywhere. So now is to just give it a bit of a sand over, clean, then start painting it. Alright, so fully sanded down, taking it outside in the sun, giving it a quick paint with an ink primer. Got pretty much all of everything off of it. Nice and clean now. A few bits you can see. A few little coats. Start with a fine coat and then go over with a thicker coat. Probably 2 coats is good. Alright, so look, painted all the primer as we can see. Gone ahead and put a top coat black on. This is a heat proof paint on the top because remember we decided to use it for a forge. So just giving it a clean up. Going to do the top black and then something else for the rest of it. So as you can see, because it's a rattle can, it's quite hard to get good spray out of it, especially with such a small pattern that this one happens to have. Every can seems to have different pattern. You very rarely get a good fan out of a spray can, but you can see that each coat I've done, this one says, read the back instructions, this one says do 2 light coats and then a thick coat, which I've done. I'm just going to do another one, but you can see I've gone both directions to get good coverage, but it's still a bit funky line wise. It is because I'm painting outside as well, so it's a little bit windy, but that's okay. Terrible way to paint, but that's okay. Looks good. So I'm just getting the edges too, because what I'm going to do afterwards is tape up this black bit. And paint the frame. Okay, so painted the top black and the hoop black, and I thought, well, why not do something a bit different? So I actually just taped it all up. As you can see, it's all been taped. It's not the neatest tape in the world, but again, it's a trolley. I'm not really that bothered. And then painted this funky cool green, which was like $3 from Super Cheap Auto. So probably not the world's best paint job, but it's different. And there you go. That's how you build yourself a welding stroke forge trolley. If you found anything useful in this video, please subscribe. I'm pretty new to this whole thing, so leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything you feel like I'll be doing better. If there's any other projects you'd like to see me do, just shoot me a message. Please look at my channel and subscribe to it. Thank you.